There's something magical about the bond between a human and their dog. It's a connection built on love, loyalty, and those unspoken moments that touch our hearts forever. Welcome to A Dog's Devotion, a podcast that celebrates the incredible ways dogs change our lives and sometimes even save them. Hi, I'm Carla Basagi, and in each episode we'll share powerful, heartfelt stories of dogs who have rescued their humans just as much as they've been rescued themselves. From acts of bravery to the quiet, everyday love that heals, these stories will make you laugh, cry, and even appreciate your furry best friend even more, if that is at all possible. Do you have a story that you'd like to share? I'd love to hear it. Join us on A Dog's Devotion, because every dog has a story, and every story deserves to be told. Welcome to A Dog's Devotion. I'm your host, Carla Basagi. Today, I'm joined by little Smokey. On today's episode of A Dog's Devotion, we're talking about communication. What if our dogs have been communicating with us all along, and we're only just learning to listen? So often we focus on training, commands, and behavior, but beneath all of that is something much deeper: connection. Today's episode invites you to slow down, open your heart, and consider the possibility that our animals are constantly sharing their emotions, needs, and wisdom with us if we're willing to meet them where they are. This is a conversation about trust, presence, and bridging the invisible gap between humans and animals. A reminder that the bond we share with our dogs isn't just felt, it's communicated. Today on A Dog's Devotion, I'm joined by Sam. I really learned a lot talking with Sam, and I hope you do as well. Life is hard, but he shows us that if we just be present, just lead with our hearts, have no expectations, life is much easier to maneuver. We can all learn so much from our dogs. I know Max taught me so much, and now little Smokey is. So I continue to learn and appreciate. And I also want to take this opportunity to say, I appreciate all of you for listening. And I would love it if you liked, subscribed, and left a comment on the podcast. It helps us so much. So without any further ado, here's my conversation with Sam. Today on A Dog's Devotion, we're exploring something truly fascinating: what happens when we slow down enough to listen to our animals. My guest is Sam, and I'll let him pronounce his last name because I will definitely wreck it. Will not be correct, Sam. Sam specializes in bridging the communication gap between animals and humans to foster deeper understanding, trust, and connection. Through his work, Sam helps people tune into what their animals may be feeling, needing, or even trying to express, and how that awareness can completely transform the relationship. Sam is also the host of his own podcast, offers online training for dogs and their humans, and shares his work through his website, making this kind of learning accessible no matter where you live. This is a conversation about listening differently, leading with compassion, and discovering just how much our animals may already be communicating, but only if we're open to hearing it. So Sam, I will let you pronounce your last name.
Thank you, Carla, for that introduction. And thank you to the listeners who I hope they are giving you excellent ratings and they keep on continue to listen to you so you can spread this good work that you are doing.
Thank you.
I'm Sam Amal Sadwala. It's a tongue twister, so Sam is good enough.
Sam is good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, what's is it Samay, Sam? What does Samay mean?
Well, Samay means time in Hindi, and Sam is just like you and me, energy. And this is the whole idea of Samay Sam, that we are nothing but just time and energy together. And this is our base. So this means Samay Sam.
Okay. I love it. That's really interesting. Now, I'd like to mention that I'm honored because you reached out to me. You found the podcast, A Dog's Devotion, reached out to me. We had a conversation. Yes. And so I was really touched by that. And I really appreciate that. When someone takes the time to listen and reach out and say, I love what you're doing. I think what I do might be interesting to your listeners. I'm touched by that. So thank you.
Oh, I listen to your podcast and there's so many gems. And I like that people are speaking about the connection part. There's a lot of training going on in the dog world. And it's the same with our kids. We try to train people and train dogs. But what I like about your podcast is about connections. And this is what we are alive for. The only thing which will make you smile in life is your relationships, your connections, not being a good trainer. It's
Hmm.
it's okay, it's great, but your connections is the richness in life, and that's what I feel, and that resonates your work.
Thank you. Life is all about connections,
Yes.
right?
Yes, and our dogs, I think they are no longer dogs. They are just our companions. I think we should change. There should be laws protecting dogs much more, I find.
Oh, well, I'm keeping an eye on what's going on as far as laws go. And funny you bring that up. And it seems that more and more countries are changing their laws as far as dogs go. And because there's a lot of abuse, there's a lot of neglect, there's a lot of horrible things being done to animals that need to stop. Not just dogs, all animals.
If any animal, yes, I agree that but human beings, I think probably people are going through tough lives themselves, but that's not an excuse to
Right.
abuse any animal. And I'm happy now people are looking at it differently.
Hmm. Me too. So I'm really curious about your background and how you started your work with dogs and humans. And I'd also like to talk a little bit about you're a pack walker. You're an off leash pack walker as well. So there's lots of things that you do. Your Instagram photos are great because you're in the woods, you've got a bunch of dogs all off leash. You just they all, you and the dogs look so at peace and just so we'll go use this word again, connected. And how did you start? How did you get involved in all this?
That's a good question. Thanks. And I owe my life, at least in Canada, to my dogs. And everything about my life today, I'm just happy that somehow everything fell into place. And when universe is playing its hand, one
Hmm.
should just back off and let it play. That's what happened to me. And it started when I first adopted my first dog here in Canada in 2010. Guinness, such a wonderful guy. And I was new to Canada, so I was not used to this leash concept, and not because I was a good trainer.
Hmm.
It's just that I came from India, and it was very natural for us to see dogs, cats, goats, cows on the road walking. It's not a, it's an everyday normal thing. Some places you go, there's goats, camels, elephants. I mean, they are on the street walking, and it's just a normal way of living. So, with my dog over here, I didn't kind of think of using a leash. And it was not because I was a rebel or I was a good trainer. It was just that my relationship was always good with him. I trusted him, the bond was there. So, that leash concept didn't come into me. This is what everyone in the neighborhood kind of saw and noticed. And we spoke. That's how it started. I started speaking about that. No, why would a dog do this? And it struck to me that Guinness is the only guy I can actually communicate with, because in Quebec we speak French and I had zero French knowledge. So this kind of helped me to bridge the gap for people also, that let's focus on clarity, trust, communication before commands and techniques. And it was always, freedom was always at the back of my mind. It was just the way it was, nothing that I made an effort for. And then one thing fell into another thing. I started walking neighbors' dogs, and soon I had a whole pack of dogs, and I never thought of leashing them. I got into trouble for that. I really got. Yeah.
So how would you describe your work? What else do you do?
Well, what we've done over the years, and credit goes to my wife for that. Now we've done online courses also. And I've been walking dogs off leash in a forest, and that's pack of 30 dogs. Now, one thing is the science based training, what we call, okay, commands. The other thing is also realizing that equally important is building relationships. Okay, without a relationship, any amount of training is not going to be enough. So this is where we created online courses. And one another thing to build relationship is we need to understand that it has to be fun for our animals. If it's not fun, why would the animal be involved with you? So our courses are based on fun, relationship building. And this is our message to the people, that focus on communication. Don't focus on commands, techniques. That will come later. That will come, yes. But this is where you want to trust. You want to really build relationship of trust. And everything we do is based on prevention even before it occurs. So what experience is going on with the animal? What's going on? It's where the focus is. So this is what we are doing now, right now. We are doing a lot of online training. We have, in fact, a sound album online, which
Mm.
is free for everyone. And that is also based on prevention because we want puppies to listen to this sound album during their socialization period. So then the anxiety, the stress of thunderstorms, the stress of unfamiliar
Fireworks,
sounds,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
fireworks doesn't come because unfortunately, when I'm called in to deal with a dog who's trembling and who's salivating, he's almost peeing because of the fireworks, especially there's very little we can do, and it's very slow. So prevention is better in most cases, I find.
Right. Now, for somebody who's new to what you're talking about, what could they do to better communicate to their dogs to build trust that you're talking about?
Well, step by step, there are trust building games and exercises.
Uh-huh.
But first thing I find that whenever we have a new dog, we as human beings have a way of seeing things and we have expectations. Now, if you see any relationship where you have expectations, there's going to be some kind of failures within for you. So trade in your expectations for appreciation. Start appreciating because everything we see is a question of perception. Now I see you as a beautiful person as you are. Now let's say my dog is looking at you. He's going to see the same color, but with only two spectrums of color. If a bird looks at you, it's going to see much more spectrums of color. If an insect is looking at color, it's going to see fragmented dots. And if a snake is looking at color, he's going to see a nice heat energy coming out. Now, these are not right or wrong ways of seeing things, they are just perspectives. So, when we are looking at a dog, my approach, I would say for everyone, is be open to saying, I don't know. Because I don't know everything about you, but I'm open to learning more about you. I'm curious. I just want to observe you. I want to know how to build a bond with you. So, this is what we want to focus on building a relationship first.
Hmm.
And
Can you do this, Sam, with an older dog? Or is it just puppies? A lot of people, like for example, myself, I just rescued a little dog, Smokey, and he's 7. I don't know his history. I know it's not good. Is this something that I can do with him to build his trust with me?
I think that's a great question. And answer is, of course, yes, a big yes. Because all of us, irrespective of what language I speak or you speak, irrespective of how you are labeled, you do understand how I feel about you. I'll give you a very good example related to this. There was an older dog. I loved her. Her name was Wendy, and she was a big Saint Bernard. And coincidentally, she was 7 years old. And I met the lady, her handler owner, at a French course. At that time, I was taking French classes. So she told me, if you meet my dog, she's very aggressive, blah blah blah. And I was curious. I said, I want to see this dog. And she made me actually sign a form that if you come home in my home and
Hmm.
my dog bites you, I'm not responsible. I said, okay,
Oh.
yeah. So I was like, I really want to see this dog. Because one of the things which struck me was she said the dog never goes out now since 2 years. So that was, oof, my God, poor doggy. So I go to her house. Wendy comes out, and in true fashion of Wendy, she comes charging to me and she touches my chest and my stomach 3 times. Okay, she backs off, she charges, she backs off, she charges. So I think her name was Marita. I said, okay, leash your dog and we are going to take her out for a walk. So I take Wendy out, I put her in my van. There are another 4 dogs in the van. We go out and I unleash her. That dog plays and she plays and she plays and she
Mm.
plays and she suddenly becomes a small child. And it was just beautiful. I'm like, wow. And of course, we were surprised. The owner was surprised. And I said, all this dog was saying is trust me, because the dog could have bitten me when I was there. There's nothing I could have done. So it's about communication. It's about trust. It's about this listening. There's nothing about not connecting just because of the age. No, at any age, you listen to them, you connect with them, they are just going to melt in your heart. And that's what they do.
You didn't even know this dog,
No,
and you
no.
were able to get it outside and play and become a completely different dog than it had been for 2 years.
I think it's more about listening to the sounds. See, she had the opportunity to bite me. If she wanted to bite me,
Mhm.
she could. The fact that she bite me, what is she saying? I'm not aggressive. I don't know what to do. You are in my space. I just don't know how to react. And that's what she's saying. She's saying it very clearly. So then why not trust her? Because trust is something, trust develops when I start trusting first. It doesn't come the other way. In our relationships, you want to build trust, you have to start trusting first. You cannot wait for the other person to start trusting. So these are the things, and she could have bit me. I'm in her house, I'm cornered, there's nothing I could do now. What more can she say? He said, no, everything's good. And freedom is the biggest reinforcer. There's no We as trainers like to work with food. I would say there is no bigger reinforcer in anyone's life other than freedom. Our experience on earth, we are there to experience everything through our senses, through our perception. All animals want to do that. Animals, they want to live free. So freedom is the biggest reinforcer you can give to anyone.
In your experience, Sam, with the people that you've worked with and the dogs, what are the most common misunderstandings between humans and their dogs?
Most common misunderstanding, as I said, is our expectations.
Expectations.
Yes, I mean, even when we get a puppy, we get a puppy with the understanding that the puppy has to behave a certain way. And this is where, see, we are not today, most people are not getting dogs to have security in the house. That's yes, I mean, they'll bark and you feel secure. Yes, but
Mhm.
most people get a dog because they want relationships. Now, relationships you can enhance or entangle based on your expectations, right? So it comes back to the same thing, that enjoy it, build, have fun with that puppy. It's a living ball of energy, just like you. And it's like our children also now, when I'm approaching my 4-year-old son, if I play games with him and then I give him kind of a lesson that, wow, you put it like this, I'm so happy, Ezra, then he does that thing more. Instead of me just preaching him, then it doesn't work. So, any relationship, especially with her dogs, just be open, trade in your expectations for appreciation, and just be open to the experience, and it just falls in easily. I find it falls in easily.
So you talk about relationships with your dog. You just mentioned your son. I'm curious how dogs have changed you or what they have taught you that has made your relationships better, your personal relationships better.
Oh, I I must admit that dogs have changed my life. It's funny because I'm almost finishing writing my book, and it says ending slavery through dog walking.
Mhm.
Coming from a very difficult childhood, my entire life now has been to enhance life and appreciate life right from escaping. See, I was a person who wanted to escape life. And that's how I actually came, I came to Canada for that. But just observing dogs, and one of the things I noticed when I entered the forest with the whole pack, I see it as a forest. My brain is already kind of seeing, let's say, 10 steps ahead, seeing the whole forest. But dogs
Mhm.
don't do that. They are seeing one tree at a time. And that one tree, sometimes they'll just sniff, sometimes they ignore, sometimes there is something unpleasant in that tree, sometimes they just pee on the tree and pass on. Now, when they go to the next tree, they don't carry this experience with them. They moved on and they appreciated the next tree as it was. And this was what I was doing with myself. I was carrying on old experiences, old stories in my head. And then I came to Canada to live a new life. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. The day I realized this from them, I said, let me see life in this one at a moment at a time and see how it's bringing me. So, what that did to me personally, my heart is opened. My relationship with my wife, my son, it's one of the most important things in my life, and it's just flourishing. It's so good. The best thing about myself, I would say, if I on my probably epitome I want to write, is a good father, a good husband. That's what I want to be. And
Mhm.
this I learned from the dogs, to
You
be
learned all
present.
this from your dogs.
Yes, to be present, just how they are just happy. They don't need a reason.
I know.
They just like, why are you happy? And they'll say, because I'm alive.
Mhm.
What's the reason they are alive? And this, as a human being, I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. It was just amazing that it struck to me then, oh wow, look at them. They are much more way ahead than me.
They are. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, all dogs want at the end is love and security and more love,
Yeah.
really, right?
Yeah, it's
That's all they want. It's so simple. It's humans that make it complicated. I'm curious, what is your superpower?
my superpower, if I
Yes.
may say. Before I start my walk, I have a small mantra, and it's Aham Brahmasmi. And that means the divinity in me is connecting to everything around me. We are connected to the cosmic intelligence. We are connected to the universal intelligence. So I am here. I see the divinity in you and myself. So I want to connect. And that's the only thing I focus on. When I'm walking with the dogs, it's unbelievable the amount of peace I have. If you come, there's 35 dogs, they're barking, there's chaos in the first 10, 15 minutes. They're rambunctious, they're doing everything. And I quickly refocus on myself and I see how that influences everything around. And I would say if there is a superpower, I think the superpower is to listen. It's just listening to ourselves, listening to them, listening to everything around.
You've got a great website and Instagram, so we'll mention that later so that people can take a look at it. But on it, you offer online dog training. How does communication play a role in training beyond traditional commands and obedience?
Yes, in our courses, I think we've taken out the word training and we are replacing it with fun.
Fun.
This is the biggest mind shift I want everyone, especially my clients. I ask them to focus there that let's go step by step, because even before training, you want to help the other animal, the other being understand that we are here to have fun. There's nothing going on wrong. Also, in our courses, there is a lot of science based data, yes. But there are games, exercises, especially for trust building. And what happens with these games is you won't start relying on food reinforcer all the time. It's a jump starter, be a food as a reinforcer. But in the end, I walk 30, 35 dogs off leash, not because only of science training. No, I rely on the training, yes, but I rely on my personal relationship. So the courses are for those things, building a relationship. Now, another thing in our courses, many times, and even now, and I started working with dogs in 2011, and yet sometimes reinforcing, I make mistakes and I don't edit it. We keep it that way. Why? So the listeners, the people who are doing our courses understand that it's okay to make a mistake. It's very human.
Mhm.
Let's move on. It's okay. And there's no mistakes. It's just the feedback was a second earlier or later. It's okay. Let's try it again. Let's have fun. So this is what the online courses offers.
I think it's wonderful.
Mhm.
What is your website, Sam, so people listening can take a look at it, and your Instagram account?
It's Samay Sam. SAMAY M. And if it's okay with you, I'll take the opportunity to mention that there is free gifts for our listeners
Okay.
and they have to click the link. Is that fair for you?
Is it fair for Yes, it's fair for me. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Yes, it's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Same Sam. It's
Mhm.
the podcast also named Same Sam. The Instagram and our website is also Same Sam. And our listeners can get in and there's a community which we are building.
Mhm.
Because I find one of the things today everywhere we need is a community where you can ask questions. There's no question which is very basic. No, we need to ask questions because people have so many questions when they bring a dog home. People have so many questions when they are going through some behavior problems. And
Mhm.
the whole community can help you because people have experiences and they should share their experiences.
Right. I think the community that you're building is so important and so good. I Dog people, to me, are the best.
I know.
I would take a dog over a person any day, I'm sorry.
Many.
And I think most dog people feel the same way.
Yeah.
I just smile when I think of my little Smokey now and Max and all the dogs that I meet. They're just so beautiful. But your community that you're building is really special, and you're bringing like-minded dog people together, and
Thank you.
that's a great thing to do.
Thank you so much.
Do you I'm curious, you seem very spiritual to me.
Yes, I think working with animals, you have to rely on understanding there is a bigger power which is connecting us.
Mhm,
I think it's the same thing with my wife. Understanding and reading a book, Men Are From Mars and Women from Venus, doesn't
mhm,
make me a good husband. What makes me a good husband is understanding I don't know. I can never be a woman because I can just think like a Indian guy,
mhm,
but I can be present and understand that this I cannot understand, but can I just be present for you? Can I try to see things your way, in your perspective, without having a judgment? So, spiritualism is nothing except you being open to connecting to others around you.
right.
I think that's the definition of spiritualism.
Mhm.
There's nothing, and something like an animal. How I have not been able to train myself. My wife can vouch for it.
Well, I think that goes for most men. You're not alone.
And I don't understand myself well enough.
Yeah.
So, how can I understand another animal? No,
Hmm,
I can just be there. That's what I think.
interesting. Do you then believe that animals are trying to communicate with us, even those who seem shut down, anxious, or, people call them difficult to
Oh, this, yes, a big yes. In fact, the most difficult ones are difficult ones because they are not able to communicate with us because we are not listening.
Okay.
And this question it resonates with me because growing up, I myself was given many labels. And it's thanks to those labels that I actually left my country, because labels are just perceptions. And I'll give you an example. I was volunteering at SPCA Monterrey, and there was a big, big dog, aptly named Tyson, and he was one. Yeah, and he was in the pit bull mix family. So, and each time you go in front of his cage, it was very menacing, and he was dangerous. He would just lunge at you. And with me, it was just not making sense that he's in a cage all the time. So I said, I'm going to take him out. Let's see. So we put on a leash, we take him out, and I bring my cycle to when I go to SPCA because I just cycle the dogs and they can run. So we go out of the driveway, and as we are on the main road, there's a big truck passing. Tyson just goes on the floor, and he's kind of holding the floor and panting. And that's when it struck me. This guy is super sensitive to sound. This guy is not a threatening guy. He's afraid. So
Hmm,
all this while where we were thinking he's difficult, he's aggressive, he's this, he's that. No, the poor guy was just not being understood. After that day, every time I approached Tyson, I used to work with him only on visual cues. Like I'm coming in, wait for me. This is what we are going. And it became beautiful. We never got him adopted, but
hmm.
the quality of the life we spent with him was way much better. So yes, I think difficult behavior is just clear communication is not expressed, and that's it.
Right.
We need to listen.
Right. We don't listen very well as humans, do we?
No, and this is the thing with us. The nature has given us 2 years, and it's one mouth, 2 years. But what are we using most? Yeah, it's that we don't think of this. And another thing I always say is nature has not left anything in our hands which matters. You can't control your breath, you don't control your heart. And this is the intelligence which we live in. We eat something, it gets digested, and I stay a human. A
Mhm.
dog eats meat and he stays a dog. And that's the intelligence of something way above us. So we need to connect there. That is where everything is.
So, on top of everything else that you do, Sam, you also host a podcast.
Yes.
So, what kinds of conversations are you hoping to open up through that platform?
Or my podcast, which is Same Sam podcast, is reflection of everything I've learned from dogs. And as I said, I'm just fortunate that I've spent so much of time in nature, just being with dogs every day. That the podcast is not about training techniques. It's more about the state of being, what the dogs have naturally taught me.
Mm.
It's the joy they carry within them naturally, their presence. I always thought as a human being, I have a superior brain, but nothing is more supposed to be learned than presence, the calmness, the contentment. So my podcast is not about animal training. It's about why dogs seem happier than us,
Mm. Mhm.
how they are helping me to reflect life and how my relationships changed. How today my goal in life is if I meet you, I want to make you smile. I want to see that joyous being that you are. That's it. Nothing more. I don't want to train you. I don't want to do anything. I just want you to be you and make you smile. And this is what I'm learning from the dogs. That's what they do.
Mm. Yes, they do. But along with them making us happy, they can also make us very sad. So, grief, right? We're talking, grief, transitions, change often shows up in our lives with animals. You've gone through
Oh.
it. I know I have. How can communication help during these emotional?
Oof. I think first grief is something very personal. We need to recognize it. And as a human being, we've gone through a share of griefs.
Mhm.
And we all have our process. I think some people might withdraw, some people might become reactive or restless, some people go in denial, some people might just work more. And these are not problems, these are the coping mechanisms. Okay. My smaller dog also went through a lot of grief when my older dog passed away. I mean,
Mhm.
we were all sad at home for sure, but this little guy would sit on the sofa every evening and howl.
Oh, no.
Just to see that, it was like, first of all, it's heart wrenching.
Mhm.
But then on the other hand, there's nothing to fix. It's grief. It's honest. It's just pure grief. You need presence for that, just like that. So obviously I can't ask him to change how he feels, but I can offer different experiences.
Mhm.
I would ask Jazz, why don't we go out for a walk? Why don't we take some fresh air? Why don't we do something? And this is grief. I mean, everyone process it differently, but you just have to be present. We just have to listen, and we can't rush anyone through grief. We can't talk it out. I just think that it's okay just to say that you're not alone and you don't have to be okay right now. It's just that this is your way of dealing with it. I understand. I'm just there for you.
It's so hard.
Yeah. I think this is the hardest part of my job because I ask my clients when the day comes, I want to be there.
You do?
Oh, yeah. And in a year, I can say it's at least two, three times. I absolutely don't like it, but I want to say my thank you to
Mm.
that dog has supported my family, my whole life. Everything, my bread, butter, cheese comes through that dog. Okay, that's one part of it. But the bigger part of it is who today I am. I'm so peaceful. I'm in love with life. And that's because of them. It's like you are having a master class every day. And I didn't realize it for a while that these are these are real teachers. So when they are moving on, the least I want to do is be there and say thank you. I want to protect myself, my heart, but I want to be there to say thank you. So it's difficult. It's heart wrenching even to speak about it. I'm like, oh, I
Just
don't want
listening
to
to
go
this
through that.
makes
Yeah.
my heart. I just can't imagine.
It's it's something I wish I didn't have to do it.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I don't want my owners to go through it alone. I want to be there. I want to be human. I, I want to be a man, but the tears roll down and there's nothing you can do.
But you're
Yeah.
sensitive. You're human. You have a connection with these dogs. You have a
No.
relationship with them.
And Kala, most of them, they grew up as those naughty, rambunctious puppies
Mhm.
doing their antiques, pulling things, and now they are at a place where I know they are going to move on because you see one of their legs are not supporting them well. They are slowing down. They can't hear you well. They don't see you well. And you know the time is coming and you just want to just avoid the entire thought of it. It's the toughest thing I go through, I think.
You know, somebody once said to me, dogs bring you the best day ever, but they
Yeah.
also bring you the worst.
I know that because with my older dog passing away, I fell on the floor in the vet's clinic there. I didn't know what happened to me. There was so much of like cocktail of emotions within me that I fell down on the ground.
Yeah. I think when Max passed, I actually went into a shock
Oh,
where I don't know how I functioned. I don't know how I got him through the airport or home, or you just run on
man,
adrenaline. I
yeah,
didn't realize until the next day what truly had happened. And that's when it hit me. It's such
yeah,
a wall of emotions that come over you. It's
yeah.
just, yeah. But
And
I'm
it,
sure, I'm sorry. Was just going to say, I'm sure that the owners of the dogs appreciate you being there.
yes, I think that's the least I can do. And it's every dog has this one special connection with that one person. And it's only you will feel that depth of grief. I'm sure I feel the grief, but I'm sure that that one of the owners must be so connected. And this is with grief. We can't have like, okay, I'm grieving, I'm at number 10, number 12. No, it's so personal, it's so deep, and sometimes people don't even understand. They just find, okay, is he cuckoo or what? Like, so it's that you have to go through a lot of things, and in oof, I feel cold right now when I'm talking of that.
I know. So we won't talk about it. I don't want to end on a
Yeah,
sad note. I want to end
no,
on a happy note with all the
yes,
work that you do and
yeah,
what you've just taught me in this last 40 minutes talking
that's
to
so
you
sweet.
and learning to be present. And because we forget that as humans, we're always planning ahead and what I have to do tomorrow and what I'm cooking for dinner. I'm never really in the moment. And that's really important, and listening and just being there.
That's true. If I may, and just to all the listeners who are thinking of training your dogs or working with your dogs, now think if you had to train an elephant, okay? There is a book called The Elephant Whisperer by Anthony Lawrence. Now, this guy in South Africa, he adopted 7 elephants on his conservation land. And these elephants wanted to kill him at that time. And then just through the presence and power of relationship building, today, that entire place, the elephants are like the mascots and they meet and greet people. So if we can do it with bigger animals like elephants, I'm
Hmm.
sure you'll be able to do with your dogs. So just believe that you want to just believe and love with dogs. Now that's
Right.
it. Nothing more you need.
Okay. You make it sound so easy.
I think if you just listen, it's easy. When you're open with your heart, when you're vulnerable, everything becomes easy.
Well, Sam, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing
Oh,
your
Carla,
insight.
sorry for that.
No, I just want to say thank you for your insight, your heart, your wisdom today. This conversation reminds me and everyone listening that our dogs and our animals are constantly communicating with us, often in ways we're still learning to understand. Your work invites us to slow down, soften, and listen with intention, being present. And in doing so, we can build relationships rooted in trust, respect, and love. And I think we can say that holds true for dogs, all animals, and humans too. For anyone wanting to learn more, train their dog online, or explore Sam, check out his website and his podcast. And as always, thank you for listening to A Dog's Devotion, where we celebrate the extraordinary bond between dogs and the humans who love them. Sam, once again, thank you. It was truly an honor.
Thank you, Carla, and thank you to the listeners. Lots of love to everyone. Thank
Me
you.
too. Thank you. Stay warm.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to send a heartfelt thank you to my guest, Sam. Thank you for the work you do, for listening so deeply to animals, and for reminding us that the bond between humans and dogs is built on trust, patience, and love. Your instincts help us all become better listeners and better companions to the animals who give us everything. And I also, once again, want to thank you, our listeners. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up week after week, for opening your hearts, and for being part of this growing dog-loving community. Whether you're listening on a walk with your dog, missing a dog you loved, or learning something new about the one beside you right now, you belong here. This is what A Dog's Devotion is all about: connection, compassion, and the incredible relationships that change our lives forever. So until next time, give your dog an extra hug from me and Smokey, and thank you for listening. And that's a wrap on another unforgettable story from the heart, because when it comes to love, loyalty, and second chances, no one does it better than our dogs. They find us when we're lost, lift us when we're low, and teach us what true devotion really looks like. Thanks for listening, and remember, in this wild world, we're all just trying to find our way home. Sometimes it takes 4 paws to lead us there. So give your pup an extra cuddle today and cherish your time with him. Give him some extra treats too. I know he'll love them. This podcast is in honor of my best buddy, Max.